fact is that we're in a situation where every 4 years, democracy starts here in the state of Iowa. And it starts here in the state of Iowa. And it starts with you. And, you know, you set the nation on a path to determine who their choices are to be President of the United States of America. You whittle it down, you narrow your choice, both parties, when you don't have a sitting president. And it's always a big responsibility. But I respectfully suggest, not because I'm running, but because the man who's president, you've never had a greater responsibility than you have today, no matter how many caucuses you've attended. We can't turn 4 years of Donald Trump into an aberration, historical aberration, but 8 years will change the country in a way we can't tolerate. We need you, we need you, we need you. You know, when I announced a few months ago, I got criticized for saying why I was running. I said I was running because we had to save the soul of the nation. And I was being literal. I wasn't being any other than literal. You know, close your eyes and remember what you saw when those folks came out of the fields carrying torches in Virginia, carrying torches, their veins bulging, coming out of Charlottesville in the fields. Literally, close your eyes and remember what you saw. Their veins bulging, anger, hatred, chanting the same anti-Semitic bile that was chanted in the streets of Germany in the early 30s, literally the same, accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists. A lovely young woman was killed, saying, "Not in my town." And what happened? The President of the United States got asked, "What do you think, Mr. President?" He said, "I think there are very fine people on both sides." No president ever said anything like that. It stunned the world, it shocked the nation. I really mean it. That foreign leaders saying out loud what is happening to the United States of America. Folks, as my dad would say, our children are listening. They're listening. They hear this. It's just gotten worse for this gentleman. I use the word really loosely. Anyway. Look, this is the Commander-in-Chief. Commander-in-Chief of the United States military. He's continuing his pattern. We learned a little while ago that at the Pentagon, in a room with our flag officers and generals, he looked them in the eye and referred to them as losers, dopes, and babies. Who in God's name does he think he is talking to our people like that? I don't think there's ever been a president, ever, who's presumed to think these brave women and men, and you look them in the eye and say you're a loser. Speaking of losers, my God. Then we learned, after he predicted we almost started a war with Iran that was full blown, when the Iranian missiles came to Iraq, the Al-Assad Air Base, where my son had been and served for a year, our son, a good man, Bronze Star, Distinguished Service Medal, other awards. I don't know what I would have done. I talked to others with John to ride along. What would we have done if I had a son who was still there? And what happened? All of a sudden, we find out that there were people hurt. First we heard it was 34, now 64 people confirmed with traumatic brain injury. What did the president say? He said, headaches. My God. Think about it. Any of you have sons or daughters, brothers or sisters in harm's way. We can't do this. We can't let this be sustained. Folks, the Veterans of Foreign War Organization, VFW, I don't remember anybody doing this before. Called on the president to apologize to our warriors. To apologize. I haven't heard a word yet. Look, several 100,000 of our troops have received suffered traumatic brain injury over the last 12 years, now 14 years, in the wars because of the new weapons, IEDs, and missiles and things that were not prevalent. To state the obvious, this commander-in-chief not only doesn't understand it, he does. He's the most callous son of a gun we've ever had as president. To state the obvious, the next president is going to inherit a country divided and a world in disarray. There'll be no time for on-the-job training. We need a president who's going to be ready on day one. Repair our relationships with our allies, which are being crushed right now, both in Asia as well as in Europe. Once more, make America not only the enemy of the world, but the leader of the free world. The world is not self-organizing. When we step off the stage, the vacuum gets filled, and not by good guys. The vacuum will be filled. America must lead for our own safety's sake. We also need to do something else. We need a president who can begin to rebuild the backbone of the class, the backbone of the country, the middle class, our the president should understand that Wall Street bankers and CEOs did not build America. Hard-working Americans, toiling every day in the middle class, they built America. The unions built the middle class. So, it just stuns me, the things he says and does. Look, we need a president who can bring us together. Unite our party when this nomination is all over. Unite the country. We're a democracy. I get criticized for saying we can unite the country. Well, folks, we're a democracy. Democracies depend on consensus. And there's no way to govern, to progress, if we can't reach consensus in America. We have to be able to pull Democrats, Independents, and Republicans together. We have to be able to do that. They say that, well, Joe used to be able to do that. Back in the days when Chris and I were working on chemical weapons treaty, got it passed, and the Wild Scratch Women Act, like that, or the Recovery Act, $900 billion. They say, well, that was the old days. Yeah, 3 years ago. That was the old days. But here's the other thing they say. They say it's naive. I refuse to believe that the other side is our enemy, not our competitor. When we make it an enemy, we get nothing done. Folks, here's the deal. Here's the deal. If you think about it, the idea that I refuse to accept the notion we're going to be in total chaos and war with the other side, because we're done if that's true. But here's what also happens. They say to me, Bill, they say, well, Biden doesn't understand the new Republican Party. Oh, I understand. I've been the object of their affection for a long time. I don't think any president or anybody has ever spent so much money on trying to disperse me and my family. Over $12 to $15 million so far. Mainstream media won't even cover most of it. And then along comes, by the way, you have a great senator. What's her name now? Senator, I think it's Joan Harris. I tell you what, you know what she said the other day? She said that, quote, Iowa caucus goers this next Monday, and I'm really interested to see how this discussion today, meaning when they're going after me on the floor of the Senate with lies, that mainstream media has pointed out our lies, that their own sworn testimony from their administration said were lies. This discussion today informs and influences Iowa caucus voters. Will they be supporting VP Biden at this point?
Yes.
This is all about how the president did try to get a foreign power to, which they would not do, say something negative about. Well, I was told she was on CNN this morning. I didn't see it. Here's the quote I was told. She said, quote, just pointing out that Iowa voters are very smart. So why don't they all show Joniers just how smart you all are? You gotta give the reason why they are so intent on not wanting me to be the nominee. And I'll tell you what, don't worry about that. They're not going to take your money for fossil fuel. But by causing,
What do you have to say for
well, I'll tell you what. This is the very thing that I refuse to get engaged in the Democratic primary. I'm not going to attack another Democrat for particular things that aren't true. And that's what I'm not going to do. You know, the fact is that we find ourselves now where, where you have a chance for truth tomorrow. You can ruin Donald Trump's night. I promise you, if you stand with me, we will end Trump's reign of hatred and division. We've been standing a long time. And let me cut to the chase. I refuse to believe we're a country that thinks it's all right to put kids in cages. I refuse to believe that we're a country that can coddle white supremacists. I refuse to believe that we're a country that in fact thinks that it's okay to just flat out lie to the American people. And I refuse to believe we're a nation that bows down to Vladimir Putin, because I will not. Zigzag down the hallway. That is moral bankruptcy when you allow that to happen. Look, when I look at Donald Trump, what he stands for, what he says, how he behaves, what he's done, our response has been the same. You're so much better than this. It's not who you are. I believe David Brooks in the New York Times, a conservative columnist, said it best. He said, there's an invisible moral code that holds up societies. And it's made up of honor, decency, treating everyone with respect, giving hate no safe harbor, leaving no one behind, realizing there's something bigger than just ourselves. It's a code. It's a code. It's the American code. And it's a code that this president doesn't seem to subscribe to in any way. Folks, that's right. And by the way,
keep going.
I won't keep going. He's okay. Look. Here's the deal. We're in a situation now where everyone knows who Donald Trump is. We have to let them know who we are. We choose hope over fear. he or she will be above the law. Period.